If you're a parent watching your bright, creative child struggle with reading, or you're an educator wondering why some students just don't get phonics, this video is going to change everything you think you know about how children learn to read. I'm Nikki Mountain from Dyslexia Unpuzzled, and today we're diving into one of the hottest topics in education right now: why traditional teaching methods are actually creating barriers for neurodivergent learners and what we can do about it. By the end of this video, you'll understand why phonics might actually be working against your child, and I'll share some practical alternatives that are already transforming classrooms around the world. So let's start this morning with a story that might sound familiar to you. Emma is a 7-year-old. She's incredibly creative, loves drawing, and can build some amazing Lego structures. She tells you detailed stories about her favourite things. However, when it comes to reading, she just freezes up. Her teacher says she's behind in phonics. The homework battles are getting worse every night. Her parents are starting to worry there's something wrong with Emma's intelligence. So here's what Emma's parents don't know. Emma's brain is actually functioning exactly as it should. It's just wired a bit differently. Here, I'll explain. Traditional phonics teaching assumes all children learn to read by breaking words down into individual sounds. What we call bottom-up processing. However, here's the thing. Research now shows us that dyslexic brains and many other neurodivergent minds process language through what we call top-down processing. Instead of building up from sounds to words, these brains work better when they see the whole word, connect it to a meaning, and understand its parts. It's like the difference between building a puzzle piece by piece versus seeing the whole picture first. This isn't a deficit by any means, it's just a different way of learning. In fact, this type of processing often comes with incredible strengths in creativity, problem solving, and big picture thinking. Just like the saying, a picture spells 1,000 words. The research backing this up is compelling. Neuroimaging studies from Yale University and other leading institutions show that dyslexic brains have different neural pathways for processing written language. Dr. Sally Shayett's groundbreaking work revealed that when dyslexic individuals read, they use different areas of their brain compared to typical readers. This isn't a malfunction, it's a variation. And here's what's really exciting. When these students are taught using methods that work with their brain's natural processing style, they don't just catch up, they often excel. Studies show that multisensory approaches can improve reading outcomes for dyslexic students by up to 70%. Now that's not a small improvement, that's actually quite life-changing. Here's the challenge, however. Most educational systems are still built around that one-size-fits-all phonics approach, leaving millions of brilliant minds feeling like they're failures. So what are the things that does work? I'm going to share 5 different approaches that are revolutionizing how we teach neurodivergent learners. Firstly, visual word recognition. Instead of sounding out every letter, students learn to recognize whole words as visual patterns. So think of it like recognizing a friend's face. You don't analyze each feature, you see the whole face, her whole picture instantly. Secondly, there's multisensory learning. This means engaging touch, movement, and visual elements. So all the senses together simultaneously. Students might trace letters in the sand while saying words or As with the Davis method used at Dyslexia Unpuzzled, building words and meanings out of clay make it a very effective method to incorporate the three different components of a word, giving clarity, understanding, and meaning. Technology integration is a pretty cool thing too. So text-to-speech software, audiobooks, and apps like Voice Dream Reader can be game changers. They allow students to access content at their cognitive level without being limited by their reading speed. Strength-based learning. Instead of focusing on what's difficult, we build on what these students do well. Many dyslexic learners are exceptional at storytelling, so we start there and work backwards to the mechanics of reading. Flexible assessment. Traditional spelling tests and timed reading assessments often don't reflect these students' true abilities. So different assessments like portfolio assessment, oral presentations, and project-based learning give a more accurate picture of their capabilities. The key insight here is that we're not lowering standards, we're raising them by making them accessible to all different types of learners. So let me introduce you now to Carter. He's a 14-year-old, a great case study of mine, and despite attending both public and private schools, he still couldn't read. His mum, who was a former kindergarten teacher, made the tough decision to homeschool him, not because she wanted to, but because Carter's mental health was deteriorating in the private and both public systems too. Nothing had worked so far, and the constant struggle with reading was leaving him feeling quite defeated. When I first met Carter, he was stuck in a loop so many neurodivergent learners find themselves in. He tried to guess every word. He had no strategies to work out unfamiliar words. Sounding things out didn't help for him, especially words like said or was, which don't follow the normal rules. He'd focus harder, but that only led to more confusion for him. He'd get really tired quickly and his frustration and self-doubt grew. However, a year later, into home education, after we had worked together, learning specialised tools and doing his consistent follow-up work, Carter has now gone from a non-reader to reading at a 9-year-old level. So it didn't happen overnight, however it did happen because the approach finally matched the way his brain learns best. And Carter's not just the only one that this can happen to. With the right tools and methods, stories like this, and especially with my clients, are becoming more and more common. So what can you do with this information? If you're a parent, first, trust your instincts. If traditional methods aren't working, that doesn't mean your child isn't smart. Advocate for alternative approaches. Ask about multi-sensory programs in your school, district, or join my upcoming masterclass online, 7:00 p.m. on the 18th of June. Simply email me at dyslexiaunpuzzled@gmail.com and I'll send you the link. If you're an educator, start small. Incorporate one multi-sensory element a week into your lessons and notice which students respond differently. Consider some professional development in dyslexia-friendly teaching methods or connect with me personally so I can guide you. If you're a student, know that your brain isn't broken. It's just different and it learns in a different way. Seek out the learning methods that worked for you and don't be afraid to ask for accommodations. The future of education is inclusive education where every type of mind is valued and supported. I'd love to hear your experience in the comments. Have you seen these alternative approaches work? Are you dealing with this challenge right now? And if this video helped you understand something new about learning differences, please share it with someone or anyone who needs to hear this message. Every person deserves to feel successful in their learning journey. Please don't forget to subscribe for more content about neurodiversity and education, and check out my other related videos that are supporting neurodivergent learners both in the classroom or at home. Thank you so much for watching me and being with me here today. I'll see you in the next video.